Doctor Who is turning 60 this year, which means it's time for another anniversary special. I can't wait to see which doctors will team up to defeat the big bad. Oh. Well, that's fine, I guess. David Tennant is the Doctor again. And Russell T Davies is back. And Murray Gold is back? Okay, how could I not be excited? Let's just talk about the anniversary specials and hope that these episodes have actual value and are more than just lazy nostalgia bait. Starting with... Meep! Meep! The Starbeast. It's alright. I mean, this episode has a lot of highs, but it also has a lot of lows. Though I do think it was an overall serviceable introduction to these specials, so let's be nice and start with the good. The episode wastes no time getting us reacquainted with the Doctor and Donna. After that really cheesy fourth wall breaking intro, the episode brings these two back together almost immediately, as well as reintroduce Donna's husband Sean and her transgender daughter Rose. Woohoo! Representation, I gotta love it. The other characters are also great. Every returning cast member feels like they never left, and the new cast members are welcome additions as well. I was really worried that the episode would wait until the final scene to have the Doctor reunite with Donna, and then cliffhanger, and that the second episode would wait until the final scene to have the Donna's memories return, and cliffhanger. But both are accomplished by the end of this episode, which means we get even more of that wonderful dynamic. There are so many things I love here, like how Donna's memory loss does not affect her personality or attitude towards the Doctor at all, or how when Donna's memory returns, fully aware that she only has a few minutes left to live, she immediately decides to use a little bit of that precious time to just chew out the Doctor for having a good influence on her. It's also nice to see them react to the new TARDIS like a bunch of excited little kids. I just love these two so much. And the Meep is really cool. I love how cute it starts out until it reveals itself to be a ruthless tyrannical dictator. It's like that episode of Phineas and Ferb, but with a bad ending. Now, I want to talk about Rose a little bit more because I feel like she's gotten a lot of unwarranted hate, and surprise, surprise, a lot of that hate comes from transphobia. I myself am not trans, so I can't really tell if the representation was respectful and satisfactory for trans audiences. I can tell you that it was implemented into the story fairly well, at least for the first 20 minutes or so. We'll get to that other part later. I think what makes it fit so naturally into the story at first is that it doesn't at all feel like it's trying to make a statement. It feels like it's trying to establish a character, and it's doing so in a way that keeps the flow of the story going. I also love how Rose's struggles are presented in a way that anyone, even people who are not trans, can relate to. But if I'm going to talk about the good, I unfortunately need to bring up the bad. And I'm not talking about the scene where Rose corrects the Doctor on pronouns. That scene was a bit of an interruption, but otherwise kind of harmless. No, I'm talking about the fact that after the Doctor restores Donna's memory with a Winter Soldier activation code, we find out that Rose inherited the Time Lord Metacrisis also, and that's why she's trans. Not because she just is, like a lot of people are in the real world, but because she inherited alien DNA. And it's not like it was implied through any subtle meaning, they explicitly said it in the episode. I don't mind Rose inheriting the Time Lord Metacrisis. I actually think that's a really clever way to save Donna from dying. But the revelation that followed just rubbed me the wrong way. I feel like implying a connection between being trans and being an alien is, how do I put it, not good. I'll let you figure out why on your own. Also, we have that really dumb scene where Donna and Rose just decide to let it go, which cures them immediately of their metacrisis and makes you wonder, why didn't Donna do this in the TARDIS way back when? What a lazy way to undo such a tragic character arc. And it's something that only female presenting Time Lords can do? Yeah, that's really stupid. So yeah, The Starbeast. Deeply flawed episode, but it was still a lot of fun. You can tell there was a lot of passion put into this episode, more so than I remember from the Chibnall era. I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10.
You can appreciate
the gravity of the situation.
Now this is what I'm talking about. Wild Blue Yonder is easily the best of the three specials. In my Letterboxd review, I said it was among the best episodes in the series, alongside Blink at Midnight. But I think I was deprived of quality Doctor Who for so long that I forgot what good episodes were actually like. By recent standards, it's a masterpiece, but by early New Who standards, it's still a good episode, just not anywhere near the all-time best. Russell T Davies was not afraid to get super creepy and weird with this one. The idea of being so far outside the universe that the light hasn't even reached them yet, the Not Things taking the same form as our heroes, leaving us on edge the entire time and unsure who to trust, the animations, villains and the different forms of the not things. This episode was uncanny. I also love the emotional moments when Donna talks about what her family will do if she doesn't make it home, when the doctor talks about what will happen to the TARDIS, the confessions they make when they're trying to figure out who the imposters are. Oh God, I said imposter. And they're on a spaceship. And they travel using the fence. Among us. But yeah, those scenes are great, and even more heartbreaking when it does turn out to be the imposters that our main characters end up confessing to. I also love how the imposters continue to learn as they get stronger, discovering the idea of object permanence with the tie, or the moment with the salt, or when they discover the captain's plans. One complaint I hear a lot is the special effects, but I'm going to come out and say that Doctor Who would not feel right if it didn't have terrible special effects. The green screen's unpolished, the CGI background of the ship is not convincing in the slightest, the stretchy bodies of the not things look super rough, and I love it. I'll be honest though, despite being the best of the three specials, this one felt the most pointless and the least eventful. In my opinion, it's not worthy of being called an anniversary special, really, because it's kinda not. It's just a regular episode. A really good regular episode, but a regular episode nonetheless. 8 out of 10. Also, the Isaac Newton cold open was really dumb, but also really funny. I love the Mavity joke and how it persisted throughout the episode. I hope it never gets addressed. And the ending with Wilf, ugh, so wonderful. It's sad that this is all we got before Bernard Cribbin sadly passed away, but this scene was still so great to see. He will be missed. Alright, now on to the actual special.
Oh, well, that's all right then!
Well, we finally made it. The last of the 60th anniversary specials. The Giggle. The episode that finally brings the Doctor against the Toymaker. So what did I think? I thought this episode was incredibly disappointing. I mean, the Toymaker didn't even appear once in the whole episode, and it takes place outside of his video game. Where's the Doctor Who Spy Kids crossover I was promised, Russell? Whatever, I'll just have to settle for the inferior version, I guess. All jokes aside, this episode was pretty good and easily the one I had the most to say about, but it also felt very rushed. The entire time, I was just thinking it could have easily been split into 2 or maybe 3 episodes. Not bad, but definitely needed to slow down in some parts. Let's talk about the good though. This definitely felt a lot more like an anniversary special, with its higher stakes, larger scale, and many celebratory callbacks. If the 50th anniversary was a celebration of the Doctors, the 60th anniversary was a celebration of the Companions. Not just with this episode, but with Tales of the TARDIS as well. It's always wonderful seeing a Doctor reunite with a past companion, especially from a different era. Mel was such a fantastic addition to this episode, and it was great to learn how she got to where she is now since we last saw her. I also like the callbacks to other previous companions. Adric, Rose Tyler, River, Amy, Clara, and Bill all got shoutouts. But what I'm most happy about is that we finally got proper in-universe closure for Sarah Jane. Liz Sladen's been gone for over a decade now, so it definitely feels overdue. But better late than never, I guess. And yes, I know she also got a tribute in Tales of the TARDIS. I'm just talking about the main show right now. Anyways, let's talk about the villain, the Toymaker. No, not the real one. There we go, that one. I honestly did not know that Neil Patrick Harris had it in him for this kind of role. I hope he's proud, because this might be the best role I've seen him in. The only scene where he doesn't steal the show is towards the end, when someone else steals it from him. But we'll get to that. The chaotic energy and the accent changing and the dancing and the torment, he feels like a legitimate threat. He truly looks like he's having the time of his life in this role. And I wouldn't have it any other way. He may not be the real Toymaker, but for an imposter, this version's pretty good. Alright, now let's get to the big thing, the bi-generation. Let me just say first, regardless of my actual opinions on the idea existing, I think the scene itself was executed really well. The visuals, the acting, the music, the twists, everything. Great scene. Now, let me be honest. I do not hate the concept of bi-generation. I'm scared that the show will take advantage of this idea, but as it is right now, I don't mind it. A lot of people see this as a retcon, but I want to bring up this question. What does it contradict? What bit of established canon does it undo? What happened in the past that this idea ruins? Nothing. This is not a retcon of the lore. It's an expansion, similar to the Meta-Crisis. However, the Meta-Crisis did have its limits and consequences immediately established. One heart, half human, will grow old and die, stuck in another universe, and very dangerous to the human involved. The show was very careful to make sure this idea was not overpowered and couldn't get taken advantage of. The bi-generation doesn't have any restrictions like that set in place yet. There's still room to nerf this concept, why this is something that hasn't happened before, and why it's very unlikely to happen again. And he really should do this while he has a chance, because otherwise someone else is just gonna abuse this power and go willy-nilly with it. But that ending was still so beautiful and happy and wholesome. And since Ncuti Gatwa's era is starting a brand new show from season 1, I guess that means that this is technically the series finale for the revival era of the show. Everything from Christopher Eccleston's run to now is over. And I could not have asked for a better ending than the Doctor. After all the trauma that he's endured, finally being happy. I hope future writers let him be at peace. I doubt they will, but for now, I'm very satisfied with the ending we got. Overall, I think this episode was still pretty good on its own. Very strong 7 out of 10. It would definitely be higher if it was better paced.
You wanna kiss?
Well, there you have it. The 60th anniversary specials of Doctor Who. I want to give special thanks to Roxy Clark from the YouTube channel Sexy Biscuit. She helped me make sure I address the trans representation in the episode with the sensitivity and respect it deserves. I'll be back next week to rank all the Doctors, and then again the week after that to review the Christmas special. After that, who knows? Let me know what you want me to talk about next in the comments below. And also, don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official MP Van J YouTube channel.